animations.
Welcome to the Ep.8 podcast, where I chat with animators and creatives to discuss the ins and outs of their creative process, from sketch phase to final renders. I'm your host, MF Scribbles. In today's episode, we have a very special guest. He's a buddy of mine, Steven Lansing, or better known as STEAKSTIX online. Steven and I actually go back quite a bit. We work together at the same company. We kind of get into that, so I'm not gonna say it again. I'm not gonna go over it twice because we do talk about it at the beginning of the episode. But yeah, this episode, it's a bit longer than the other ones, but we really get into Steven's process throughout it. So I would definitely take out a notepad, pen and paper for this one to get ready to take down some notes, because Steven's one of the best hand animators I know. He was always the guy to go to if we ever had a crazy shot. Team leads would fight over Steven on getting Steven on their team so that they could make sure the really crazy action scenes would get done to their liking. Yeah, we get really into it. I still think I'm scratching my head a little bit on how he actually gets some of his animations done, but I don't want to spoil anything, so figured why not just get right into it. Sit back, relax, get a pen and paper, like I said, because you're going to need to take some notes or not. I mean, I'm not going to test you on any of this stuff. So with all that being said, let's just get right into it and see how they made it in this episode of And I Made It. I can already tell this might be one of the longest episodes, just because we already know each other.
Yeah,
but we also,
that's right, Mike.
Yeah, we worked together for like 2 years, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
yeah, 2, 3, I think. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, almost 3 years probably. And like we've had some like one-on-one meetings, but besides that, we've never actually really talked.
Yeah.
Never
It's just like all
actually
business.
met, but yeah. So if we want to just start off, and you can tell the audience who you are.
Hi, my name is Steven Lansing. Some might know me as STEAKSTIX Animations online. I had like a YouTube channel a couple years ago. That was my name under it, and I just kind of like have that like on all my socials. And I am a freelance animator. Primarily, I think what I'm most known for nowadays within the industry is like I do hand animation stuff, and I kind of mix it with rigged animation as well. I kind of like try to mesh the two together. That was never really like a goal of mine. It was just like kind of a necessity of like the industry, because it just saves so much time. So I just kind of like figured out along the way how to like mesh those together. Fans of the STEAKSTIX animation stuff would probably remember I like to do like just absurd, grotesque, ridiculous transformations, just like Adult Swim inspired kind of absurd stuff like that. So I feel like that's the kind of stuff that I'm mostly known for.
Yeah, what would you say is like some of your like key inspirations? Because like I can see like a lot of different, you kind of pulling from a lot of different things, but you've kind of like made it your own with like that grotesque animation style that like Meat Canyon has made pretty popular.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably say like the earliest thing I could think of is like maybe like a little bit of Ren and Stimpy when I was like super young. One of my core memories actually is like I was probably like 4 years old or something, and I remember like watching Ren and Stimpy, and my mom came in and said I couldn't watch it anymore. So like that like ripped me apart as a 4-year-old, and for good reason, because I ended up watching that show later as an adult and being like, whoa, should not have been watching that. And then definitely like SpongeBob is like a key like early inspiration. Like I still watch like old episodes of SpongeBob and laugh just as hard. I love just the absurdity of it. And then I'd say really as far as when I started like drawing and doodling in class, that was probably like middle school. I was really into like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I feel like that's pretty apparent when you look at my stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say like the early stuff like Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob, definitely. But like I always come back to like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and just that era of Adult Swim, like C Lab, just like all that kind of stuff. definitely like did something in my brain chemistry when my brain was still forming.
Yeah, yeah, I never really like put those two together, but now that you say that, like looking at some of your like more like original animations on your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
I could definitely see a little bit of that.
Feel also like when I decided that I wanted to like try animation, which was maybe like 5, 6 years ago now. I looked to Aquatine and being like really, there's actually for the first time like analyzing the animation and being like, I could do that because like they're not really moving around too much. Like Froloc's just kind of like floating there, and it's just like they hold like poses forever. So I like figured I could try to do that myself, and then I think I started like that, and then I tried to take a little bit more complex approach just to like push myself a little bit more, so I'm not like stagnant, with like my hand drawn skills.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, how did you get into doing more like of the cell hand animation stuff? Because I feel like that's what I like think of the most when I think of your work. Like your hand animation stuff is just like crazy good.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
you do stuff that's like it's like where do you even get reference for that? It's like it
I
like for
don't
for
usually
working
use
it.
reference.
Yeah.
I so what as far as getting started with that kind of stuff, like I like when I was like really young, like maybe like 12, 13, I had like a GIF program on my computer that I downloaded, like a free crappy GIF program, and I would animate like stick figures just because like what else do you do when you're 12?
Yeah.
And and then I like never touched animation after that for like 15 years or something like that. And I remember I was working like a retail job that I had been working for like 10 years, and like I know I always wanted to like be creative in some way. I just like never actually tried. And then I don't know what happened. I guess I think I had like seen like somebody on like Twitter or something like posting just like a silly animation that they did, and it like clicked in my head. I'm like, wait, you can just do that at home? Like it was not like a professional person. It was just some guy like, dicking around on his computer. I was like, wait, that's possible? I thought you had to like go to college or work at a studio, or like I didn't
Right.
know that they made like programs. So I like looked it up. I then figured out what like Flash animation, like Adobe Animate was. And I remember this is maybe like 2017 or something like that, 2019, around there, pulling the trigger and downloading that and watching just like insane amounts of tutorials. Like I was watching tutorials for Adobe Animate before I even had the program. I was like obsessed. I like locked in.
Yeah.
So I was like prepared and ready when I downloaded that program. And then I knew I wanted to make YouTube stuff, and some of my first videos, I can't even like watch them. Like the first animation I made, I think I might have unlisted it. Maybe I don't know if I unlisted it. It was like a Detective Pikachu parody. It is so overly crass for the sake of being crass, which a lot of my humor is. Like I'm a sucker for like shock value stuff. Obviously, if you watch my YouTube channel, I'll kind
Yeah.
of just no substance, just shock value, which I know a lot of people hate, but it's the funnest thing to animate. Just sue me. But yeah, so I think just doing my YouTube channel, like I kind of had like a goal in mind of just doing it. And then I met that goal, and I just, you can't just do one video, you have to keep going. And it just like kind of snowballed. So I don't really know like what locked me into that style. Was that even the question? I just been rambling. What did you
Um,
ask?
I don't even remember what the question was. What did I ask you? I said, I asked about your like where you got. Was it your inspiration? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I think
what
that's
am I
what it
talking
was.
about? I'm just like going down memory lane.
I just been. I got sucked in. I'm like, hell yeah.
It started when I was a boy. Yeah, so I think literally just like I
Oh, it
never
was
went to
about the hand
school.
animation. I was asking you what the
That's
like
right.
how you
Okay.
got into making your
Right.
getting really into the hand cell animation stuff.
Okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. So like yeah, I never went to school or anything for drawing or animation or anything like that. I'm all self-taught just from like YouTube tutorials. And I think it literally how I got into it was just doing it. Yeah, it's not like I like took
Yeah,
courses or anything like that. It was out of necessity. Like I learned how to use that program, and then I would come up with whatever idea I would come up with for a cartoon, and then I just had to do it, and then I had to find a way to make it work. And every time that I would do a new one, it sometimes felt like a struggle because I was still kind of learning. But like that was basically, I always say this, like that YouTube channel, I haven't uploaded on that thing for like 4+ years, maybe even 5 years now. But I always say that like 4 or so years of making YouTube videos was like my school.
Yeah.
because I went from knowing literally nothing about animation, uploading like a cartoon on there, and then making more cartoons for a couple years and getting all my skills that way. So I definitely tried to do more hand-drawn stuff just because I just thought people would appreciate it more. I think I found out quickly that no one cares. Well, the only people that care are like animators. No one cares, like
Yeah.
if it, like people, the general people don't like know what's the difference between like the cutout animation or hand drawn animation.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I cared at the time. I thought it would really make a difference if I could try to get good like that. And also I wanted to see if I could. I wanted to be that kind of animator just because it's much more impressive.
Yeah.
I think, not saying that cutout animation is easy, because it is not. It's definitely not. But yeah, it just out of necessity of making cartoons,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Man, I'm surprised that you started only in like 2017 because I
Yeah.
would have imagined so you weren't on that whole like early like 2000s flash animation with like
No, I will
the
say that
Ego
that's a
Raptor and Oni like era.
yes.
I feel like you would have been like watching the shit out of that those ones.
I absolutely was. Those are. I'm so glad you brought those up because I was trying. I knew you were going to ask me that question, so I'm like, what are my inspirations? Early Newgrounds is
Yeah.
huge. Like, oh my god, I watched so many of those cartoons when I was a kid, and yeah, the Oni stuff and Ego Raptor especially. Oh my god, I still laugh at some of those stupid videos. They're
Yeah.
so good.
It's so crazy how like old those animations are now. Like I was just
Yeah.
doing because I just uploaded a tutorial video the other day and I used some of the clips. So I was looking them up and like some of the like those videos are like 12, 15 years old and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the I'm like
Uh
12,
huh.
15 years old. Like that's crazy.
Yep, I remember actually analyzing a lot of those videos. The Pikachu battle one with
Yeah.
Venusaur cracks me up every time, and I
Yeah.
remember just thinking, like, oh my god, I'll never be able to animate like that. Like, they're
Oh
like,
really?
yeah, yeah, like it just seems so impressive, and I still think so when I look at it. But I that's the kind of stuff I would try
It's
to
just like a
emulate.
cool style, yeah. I think
It really is.
because like yeah, once you see I've seen some videos of him like explaining how he does some of it, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, it's such an easy technique, but it's just like the way he makes his characters so like floppy and like
Yes,
bouncy and like
almost squishy. Yeah,
yeah, it was like it makes it look really it's a cool aesthetic for sure.
yeah,
That looks
definitely.
impressive. It comes off as like really really impressive. Damn, yeah. For some reason I would have imagined that you were like had been making animate posting animations online since like 2010 or something.
I wish, but also like with just how like completely cringe like my sense of humor is. Like, I'm so glad that I never made cartoons when I was younger because they'd probably be so hard to watch now.
Yeah.
Totally juvenile sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I think about that sometimes. Like, I'm so glad that I wasn't a kid during like the internet in this era.
Yeah,
Because like I would make the stupidest videos, but like they're
yeah,
just on VHS, you know. Like
right,
I wasn't
yeah,
uploading those before YouTube and stuff. And it's just like, thank God, like I would have been posting the dumbest crap.
oh yeah. I mean, I already do, but it would have been worse.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Would have been worse. Now I like think about it a little bit more. Cool. So going into some of your process, since that's kind
Mhm.
of the key for this podcast, key theme. So what are your like key materials that you use? So Flash, obviously. Are there any
So
other like programs and stuff that you like using?
I started with Adobe Animate, and I feel like I like mastered that program. Like, I'm sure there was lots of things that like I, you know, didn't ever touch, but I had such a grip on that program. And then the studio that I do work for, they transitioned over. It used to be you could do kind of use whatever you wanted, and now to streamline things, like a year or two ago, they transitioned to doing Toon Boom, which I actually wasn't even nervous about. I was so excited because like Toon Boom was that like elusive like program that I thought I'd never get my hands onto,
Mm,
just because it's so expensive, and then there's not as many tutorials for it like online.
yeah.
So we transitioned to that, and now I feel like I have a really good grasp on Toon Boom. And like I hate how expensive they are. I don't know if I'd be able to have this program if it wasn't for work, letting me have a license. But once you understand how it works, it's like super intuitive, and like the speed that I can do things now in that program, it's unmatched.
Yeah, you
So
feel
that's
like
the
it's a lot faster than
oh
Adobe
yeah,
Animate.
Yeah, because Adobe Animate, unless they've changed things, they never had like a node view or anything like
Right.
that. They do, I think it was called symbols in Adobe Animate, where you can like pack everything into like a symbol and then kind of
Right.
animate that around. You can move it as the animation you made moves inside of it. The node view basically does that, but it's just way more complex and intuitive. That's about it. I messed with Procreate Dreams, which I know you use a lot. I was really excited when they announced that. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be using this all the time." I sat for like 30 minutes and tried to do it. And I was like, "I can't." It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'll sit down and try it, again at some point, just for like a personal project or something. But I've just gotten so like spoiled and accustomed to the node view and Toon Boom that just
Yeah.
like having everything right there on the single screen and you're like doing it all within the timeline like freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's primarily it. I've never really dabbled with anything else, honestly. I know. Well, I caught up on your podcast, by the way. Great
Sick.
stuff. You were killing it, man. It's so good. Everyone, go watch all the episodes because they are so good. I saw like a bunch of people naming all these programs that I never even heard of. I always thought it was
Yeah.
just kind of like the big like 3 or 4, but I've only messed with Animate and Toon Boom primarily.
Yeah. The one with that I interviewed, B Jump Up,
Mhm.
she just had like the longest list of, and I was thinking like, oh, these must be like some cool new programs. I looked them all up, and it's like programs from like the '90s. I was like, how did I not know
Yeah.
about these? I was starving as a child for like animation programs, like
Yes.
any free
Yep.
things, and I like couldn't find them.
I'm
And
stuck
then
here
to
with my
find out
stupid
like there's
stick
all
figure
these
animator.
programs that were there the whole time. I
Yep.
was using stuff like Pivot in like middle
Oh
school. Did you ever
no.
use Pivot?
Yeah. Uh-uh.
It's just like a little stick figure it comes with just a little stick figure, and then you basically like stop motion it, so it's like each frame you can grab all its limbs and like move it and make little
Oh my
stick figure
god.
animations.
It sounds cool for the time. We can't make
It was
much of
cool
substance, I'm
back
sure, with
in
it, but
2000, that was like 2007 probably. It's like in
wow.
computer lab, just like fucking with it.
Yeah.
But that's like the most I could. And then there was another program called Endorphin, which is actually the program. I don't even know. I doubt it's around anymore. But it's the program that they used for like the physics in GTA 4.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and you can notice it right away because it was like this weird like physics based program where there would be like a character model, and you could like put like arrows on it and make it like push it, and it would like catch itself, like it would fall
Uh,
back and like
you
try and
know,
like keep
I
itself up.
remember seeing those videos when that game was about to come out. Wasn't it called Havoc?
The program's called
The technology.
Endorphin.
Okay, I think like the
Maybe the
technology.
technology's
Yeah,
Havoc. Yeah.
I remember that just being like, oh my god, that's the most impressive thing I've ever seen. They could like
Yeah.
have someone like get like dinged by a car and they'd like put their hands on the hood
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It was
protect
like that whole
themselves.
thing.
So cool.
I think the game, the Force Unleashed, I think they also
Hmm.
used that.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
Which I don't know why they don't really use that anymore. It's still like an impressive looking like
I honestly thought
technology.
like I feel this is like a whole other debate. Just getting so I could
You're
talk
gonna get
about
off a
GTA
tangent.
physics all day, but GTA 5 I kind of felt like it was like a downgrade for the NPC physics. Like
Yeah,
they
compared
don't
to
really
4.
react quite the same like they did in 4.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I just remember those programs were the only ones I like found, and then I just gave up. I was like, but I just remember like I have all these fond memories of like sitting at my family computer, just typing in like free animation program, free like tech demo, free like just like looking for anything, and
Ah,
it
so
was like
you had the
nothing.
idea when you were young, though. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
was like, I think like I had that like GIF like program when I was a kid, and like I never even thought to like look for anything else. I'm like, well, this will do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then that was like a weekend spent, and then I was on to something else.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy how much you're like how good you are with like hand animation and stuff.
Thank you.
Because even just like looking at like just I follow so many animators online and stuff, and you're still just like one of the most impressive as far as like timing and
Really?
like
Oh my god.
yeah, just like the way you
Thank
like
you.
I just like I mean I was always impressed when I was working at Newscape and watch like seeing your stuff, but yeah, when the stuff you're like sending me or like since I was like scrolling through your stuff, and I was just like god damn, like it's just like the way let's open up one of your projects and see, because it's just like the way your timing is
Sure. Yeah.
with this one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, any
This
of
one
them
was
are
fun.
good, but like that, like just like the way your timing is, because it's like it's also I feel like usually for me when I'm doing hand animation, I'll like do it multiple times because I'm like the timing's not working, and like, but it
Yeah.
feels like every time you do get something that you have to like do a transformation or something like this where there's like people flying around on screen, it seems like you get in like the first try. It's just like,
So
where
it's
did you learn
funny.
your like timing techniques?
I think that I think I was kind of mentioning this earlier, but it's just it was out of necessity. Like the ultimate trick is when you're working for a company that's paying you and you have to do things in like a certain amount of time, the first thing that you have to do is panic and freak out and get really really nervous and then do it and then do it as quickly as possible. So like I could break this down, but I'll it's funny, like this is going to be really sacrilegious to like a lot of hand drawn animators, uh but believe it or not, I think most of this, if not all of it, was animated straight ahead.
Really? Well,
So I
I guess I could, yeah, I guess I could see that because it's like part like some of the movements, like that guy at the end, it looks like that was like mostly rig, right? Because these are
the
also the
blue guy
rigs you're
is
using.
definitely rigged because I
Yeah.
remember running out of time on the shot. He was the last one to go out, and I'm like, I just gotta use the rig. I think that the yellow guy is just like a single drawing. He might be
Yeah,
flapping his arms around, but
it's a single drawing. Yeah,
yeah,
this is a
it's
GIF,
really
so
funny now that
I
you
can't
pointed
post
out.
it.
And then the orange guy, so that starts out as a rig. You can kind of tell,
Yeah,
and then he dips down under, and I don't know if you know what like a Texas switch is, like in film, where they like a actor will like
flip it.
dip underneath the camera or something,
Uh,
and then like the stunt person like comes in
right.
or
Oh,
whatever.
is that
That's
what's
if
happening with the orange guy?
yeah, it's more or less
Oh,
that's what's
yeah.
happening. Like
I
so
didn't even
he
notice that like he completely dips out of the screen.
so you got to be slick with stuff like that. Like he dips under, and then like that's all hand animated. I think it's slightly rigged animation. Like I think like his arms are probably on a separate layer, his head's probably on a separate layer, um, and then it just kind of loops for like one or two times, and then when he flies out, I remember wanting to make this one a little bit smoother, but more or less I think that it was done straight ahead. Like he does like a flip when he comes out
Yeah, it looks like he
and
kind of
gets like
like
sucked out into
yeah.
space. Something like that. Like I know I said I animated this straight ahead, but I probably did the movement straight ahead, or maybe I put him on a curved peg. I can't remember, but I probably like put his whole thing on a peg, and then and sorry, in Toon Boom you use pegs. It's basically like you can have the drawing on like a peg, and then you move that around however you want. You can shrink it, grow it. Yeah, most people might know what that is.
Right. Same as
Um,
like an anchor point, right? Same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And so I dragged that out and made it smaller, or I might have just tweened it. And then I wouldn't be shocked if I animated. I could probably open this actually. So I'm just like not guessing what I did. Let me
Yeah, do
see.
you have the actual project file?
I should have the project
Here, let me
file. It would have been cool. I was hoping I could have maybe shown off some of my old STEAKSTIX animation stuff. Those I did that entire YouTube channel in Adobe Animate, which I finally I severed the cord with
Oh,
Adobe.
really? You don't use it
Yeah,
at all anymore?
I don't use it at all. I got
Oh,
rid of
man.
them. They made me so upset with how expensive they were getting and like their
Yeah,
views on like
Adobe
AI and
being
stuff. I really
yeah.
and I was paying for it for like years, even like a year or two. I was never even using it for like anything. I was like, it's time, Adobe. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, now there's
All
just
right, let
so
me,
many other programs coming out that are cheaper.
yeah, I should really try to get my hands on some of the cheaper ones. I've heard that some of them are actually like pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if you have an iPad, try out Dreams.
Yeah,
I feel like I come off on this show like I'm sponsored by them because
you should get sponsored by them.
But I just like I don't know. I to me like I forced myself once I like opened it when I first got it and realized that it was missing some stuff. I was like, I'm gonna figure out
Mm,
how to do it anyways because I just want to be able to like animate anywhere. Because that was the thing that was
right.
like holding me back from making so much stuff for like my own stuff was that I would work all day at my computer and I'm like, I don't want to keep sitting here. I want to go
I want to
live
be in the
life.
bathtub and
Yeah.
draw.
But now I can do that. Now I can go to the bathtub and continue
Exactly.
animating.
You should transition the podcast to be fully in the bathtub.
Yeah.
It's a requirement of all the guests.
You must get in your bathtub, but you also need to show us your programs.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care the risks. Oh, okay, I was wrong. So what I was thinking that I did was I assumed that I animated his flip in place,
Mhm.
and then dragged the peg along. But I actually think I did animate this one along his like destined path here. So okay, yeah. So that's yeah. If I had more time, I probably would have like put this on ones because usually with animation when it's like a fast movement, you want to try to put it on one so you can see everything. But I think you could still like kind of get the idea that he's
Really,
flipping.
I always imagined it was like the opposite. Like, there's a lot of times I've seen fast animation that it'll be like on fours sometimes, where it's like
It all depends. I mean,
because
if
then
you
it's like
want it to
less
be
frames, but it's a little bit more impactful, right?
sure, you
That's
have
what
to be
I always
really,
thought.
really good at knowing
Like
your
keyframing.
frames.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It all depends. Yeah, so I must have animated this. Let's see if I have the sketch layer still. Yeah, maybe I did a little bit in place. Yeah, I think I animated it like he's going a little bit far away,
Hmm.
and then I dragged it out heavily with
And
the
is
peg
any
here.
part or like any parts of this character part of the rig, or is it 100%
So I
hand
think
animated? Because I know sometimes you'll use like a person's face and stuff, like a rig head.
so that's a big thing that I do when I'm trying to animate quickly is like because the rigs that I get supplied with at work are pretty good for getting somewhat different angles and stuff. Sometimes you have to like if it's like a like head like super down angle, you'd have to draw that. But I usually like kind of like pop the head off the rig and then put it on a hand animated body. So I think wow, this is all hand animated, huh?
Yeah,
I
it looks
probably
like that.
probably could have gotten away with um putting the head on this
Yeah.
thing and just animating the body. Yeah, I thought I separated all this. Yeah, so this one in particular was all hand animated then.
Well,
But I'm definitely known for I've got other examples we can get into later, but I'm definitely known for like
even like
mixing.
the foreshortening of like the pack he has on his back.
But yeah, let me see if I got the
Like that's just so
sketch.
like that's pretty impressive. I would have
Thank you.
not drawn those straps if I was doing
I
this.
don't know what I was thinking. Let me see.
I would have just been like, forget, no one's gonna notice the straps.
So funny enough, look how
Okay,
almost
so this.
nothing that sketch is. I'm glad I could find this. Yeah, so
Okay, cool.
yeah, so
I
here's
see
the
it.
sketch. Yeah, this is the good stuff. This is the nitty
Yeah.
gritty here. So I didn't even draw the tank on
Oh,
that.
okay.
I just freehand that. Damn, I'm good. Oh my god, I don't remember doing that. This I did the shot a while ago, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
must
that's
have
when I
just
was still there.
freehanded that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you kind of see, and like I said, like it's all out of necessity. Oh, look at this. Okay, so I made a profile tank, and I probably skewed it. I might have deleted it, but I might have like done something like this or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously like I would
And it just looks good though.
bring those
And
down.
yeah, because that's right. I forget that like everything in Toon Boom's vectorized, so you can just
Yes. Yeah.
do
I only
things.
work in vector. I've never really tried animating in raster just because I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Yeah.
I like the flexibility that vector gives you. But yeah, so it was just a loose sketch, and then I just like freehanded on top of that. You can kind of see like it's not like the greatest drawing in the world. Like I'm not like a master draftsman, but it gets the idea across. Like these arms a little goofy,
Yeah.
but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Cool. Do you have like another one ready? That's
Sure. Yeah.
one of the what was the I'm blanking now on the name of it. The one I sent you.
The Gravity Falls one.
Do you have that one?
I do. So
Let me see
I
some of that.
I
Switch
don't
it up
know
a
if
little bit.
you want to show like the final what the final shot looked like. I went in here before because I knew we were going to look at this one. I went in and like cleaned up the special effects so this had even an inkling of a chance of running because it was like
Mm.
so packed with like all those lighting effects that I did in the final shot, like all those shadows, the lights and everything. That was all inside Toon Boom
Oh.
because yeah, I didn't do any of that inside of After Effects because
Yeah, I can
I
throw it up
not
on the screen.
yeah, that'd be good. I kind of am okay with After Effects. I used it a little bit when I was doing STEAKSTIX animation stuff, and I just like didn't want to deal with another program, and I wanted to learn how to do special effects in Toon Boom. So
Yeah.
my node view was totally messy when I had first opened this. It was kind of impossible to look at. There was stuff everywhere. This is now pretty cleaned up, but I don't think it would have run very well. Honestly, it would have
Yeah, looks like
crashed
you've
probably.
got a lot of stuff going on in this one.
Yeah, I
With all the
packed it
background
full of.
characters.
This was for like a reanimated collab. I had some time off like last year, and I put this together. So basically, it might chug a little bit, but I want to show the example.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna have the audio on it. I think it's like it's me, Seuss. Yeah, so I can break this one down because I think this one's slightly more impressive. It's super quick, but
Yeah.
this was like I didn't have really like a time limit on this one other than like just how much time I wanted to you know put towards it.
Right.
So I did like it felt really good to put this together because I normally have to just be so quick
Yeah.
with stuff. So I can kind of break this down. So you can kind of see the cart is definitely rigged up a little bit. Let's see if I can grab it. Yeah, so it's like off of those wheels. The wheels like probably have like a looping. Yeah, just like a quick loop on them to make it look like it's moving. Does he talk when this is happening? Yeah, so something I wanted to get across was whenever Seuss talks, I want every Seuss mouth to move.
To also move.
Even this one. So this is separate too, so it also talks down here.
Well, so what is the I've never watched Gravity Falls.
Oh, you gotta watch Gravity Falls.
What's-
It's so good.
What's like the actual scene in this? Like, what is
I
it
don't know.
actually?
I don't remember. I think that he might like this is Dipper. I think he might
Yeah.
back up into Seuss or something. I might actually.
Oh, okay. So you just like you just
I went
like, full
crazy on it.
crazy,
Yeah.
trippy
I,
mode because I
um,
was like, it looks like someone's just like took way too much acid or something. It's like, what?
Oh, that's definitely what I was going for. Yeah, I wanted it to be like
All the talking
like-
trees.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Like kind of like an acid trip. I like when like characters just kind of stretchy and have too much skin. That's always been a thing that I've kind of like leaned towards for whatever reason. I can definitely find this real quick. So the original scene is, let me see if I can drag this over. So it's just Dipper like backing up,
Okay.
and it's like, dude, it's me, Seuss.
So it's super normal.
It's super normal.
'Cause I remember seeing that when he posted that, and I was like, what is even happening in the actual show?
Yeah,
he
it's
run,
not
like,
this.
Does he run him over or something? Oh yeah. that's
They
so
said
funny.
like the kids that were putting this together said like you could kind of do whatever you want. Don't make it too like over the top
Yeah.
or offensive or whatever. I'm like, well, I guess this is me holding back. I don't know.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I rigged up this cart and I put Dipper here on it. And this is kind of like something I definitely do a lot is I separate the head usually.
Mm.
So let's get to the end here. So I animated his body completely separate and just put that on like a loop because it's very quick. When you do like these reanimated projects, you have to make sure that you have the timing right because it'll mess with everyone else's shots. So
Right.
that was kind of a good thing. So, and I did like the line boil thing that Newgrounds animators always do,
Yeah. Is it just
where
like
it just
two
kind of looks like
frames?
where it's like 2 frames just kind of shaking like crazy, like a gradient in his eyes. But then I took that whole animation and like I pegged it to this cart so it would move with it. So like I could run up the hierarchy here. Yeah, so like it can move around how it needs to with the wheels. I probably just like hand keyed this movement where and thankfully I had that reference. It's pretty 1-for-1 I think for the reference, like how this cart moves. So that was kind of nice to have that like bounce. But like when then you always got to try to like how I always try to think about when I animate is I like to have things be like reactionary. So I knew that I wanted like this Seuss guy to pop up out of here after like the stuff slips down. So like it's slipping down, which then releases the tension of the cart as it's backing up. So now it can kind of like wobble towards the back, and also it's stopping. So just naturally that would kind of do that.
Right. Right.
And then when Seuss pops down, it kind of bounces again. That was all just hand keyed. So I probably just animated Seuss first and having him plop down, and then I took the cart and then just kind of like hand keyed frame by frame to have it bounce like that. You can kind of see, yeah. So these red dots right here are the peg of the cart. So as Seuss was coming down, like this is all hand animated except for his head. Well, his head is hand animated too, but I kept that separate. Don't know why his knuckles are separate. Interesting. I have no idea why I did that.
Maybe you just didn't want to draw his. Is it like connect to his arm? I guess.
No, why the hell did I do that? Oh yeah, okay, all right. So this is actually, I'm glad that I saw this because this is a nice little trick. Whenever there's like a layering issue, so like I hand animated his body, but then I put the head on separately. So when the head is there, it would have been under like his neck, so that wouldn't make made any sense. So yeah. I could have just put the whole arm on a separate layer, but I was like, I just need that sliver of the knuckles for that.
Man, I run into issues like that all the time.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, yeah, look, so this layer, it only is 4 drawings.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's just to draw over.
Yep, yep, that's literally it. Yeah, so then and then when it comes to like doing reactionary stuff, especially since this was so quick, I kind of like the idea, like I wanted it to like be like a sensory overload kind of thing. So like there's just too much going on.
Right.
Which is like, it's funny because I think there's like one of the principles of animation is like, don't do this. Don't avoid doing this at all costs. Like let everything like have its like own like visual, like like screen time or whatever, so your brain can process or whatever. I'm like, absolutely not, fuck that. So let's just shove as much in this like 2-second shot.
I feel like I've watched this clip like several times and I like never even noticed the little blonde guy in the background.
Yep. Funny that you said several times. That's the fake band name for this boy band character.
Oh, really?
Gravity Falls several times is the band name. That's crazy coincidence. That's so there's actually some like Gravity Falls fans might like this, like that's like a character from like a popular episode. These two characters, even though they look like how this character's supposed to look, he had like clones in an episode, so that's them.
Just a bunch of Easter eggs.
Yeah, a bunch of little Easter eggs. And I hate drawing backgrounds. Like, I hate it. I know you mentioned that on one of your other episodes. Like, you're not a fan of doing backgrounds. Yeah, like putting this Seuss thing together was a nightmare. I hated every second of it. I did not have fun putting this together. I like how it came out. Oh yeah, little Bill Cipher.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sure you know what Bill Cipher is. Yeah. But this is just from Google. It's just like a screenshot from Google. I'm like, I'm not drawing more forest. 1, I don't know how. And 2, I'm not going to spend my time doing that, especially for some silly collaboration thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so the real meat of it is this guy right here. I like how this came together. And I think I did break this into separate parts. So I'm pretty sure that this, I did make a few keyframes and then in betweened it.
Yeah, like when you do stuff like this, you first like is the first draft. I don't know if you still have the first draft on here. Is it usually just like a blob to get the timing right, or are you already just going in with like doing the crazy little details?
Something like this, like I don't know if I might have had like a super rough, like less detailed like outline of this, so maybe this basic shape. And then I knew that I wanted to have a layer kind of behind the cart too. So I broke that up as well. So I probably just freehanded that because it's not very seen. And then let me see, actually, I might even have let me turn all these sketch layers on. It's just funny, like you make the stuff never thinking that you're going to be presenting it. So a lot of it gets like lost in translation when you get to the final product.
For sure.
See, I think I tried to, nice. All right, so what did I do here? All right, so I actually think that more or less I went in with a little bit more detail than probably like a professional studio animator would. I think to like nail the timing perfectly, you would try to get a little bit of a less clean sketch than this.
So is this your first sketch?
This would be my first sketch, yeah.
That's so crazy. Like, I don't understand how. like the parts in red.
Yeah.
Like,
how did I do this?
Are you doing it like it's just straight ahead animation? Like you just started off with, you made the sketch of the guy all
so it drags along with the cart.
Right.
You can kind of see that I mesh warped a little bit there too, to have it match the cart. And I have his like leg kind of tweaking,
Yeah,
so
his
that's just a
leg
loop.
twitching.
Yeah, so those frames are just looping. Oh, you know what? I bet you I did go straight ahead with this because it had to do what the cart was doing. So that kind of helped. It kind of helped me know where parts were going to fall off and detach. But I bet you all this real detail and all of that stuff in there, this was probably in between a little bit. Because like I can kind of tell, like, so like this right here. Can you see my cursor? Okay, yeah. So like take this lump for example, that goes there.
Right. Yeah. So stuff
Stuff
like
like
that would be like
stuff
so
like
hard
that.
to do it straight
Exactly.
ahead.
Yeah. So I think I had to plan those kinds of things out. A lot of it does get lost a little bit too. And honestly, I like a lot of it's just because this is how I like to animate. Like I do this kind of like gross stuff, so I kind of know where to follow like the lines and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I could have like this be a frame and then that be a frame and then this might have been an in between. I wish I could fully remember. And like, oh yeah, the mouth kind of like rotates a little bit.
Yeah.
So oh look at this. That's a cheat. I flipped that.
You just flip it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just flipped that. Yeah.
And
And then it swaps into the rig. So this is kind of like hand animated a little bit. And then I think this I like gave a couple of mouth shapes.
That makes sense then. So that's
and
all
then the
on its own
eyeball
little layer.
kind of goes and does its own thing. Eyeball. This is so stupid. I can't believe I have to show somebody this. And then the eyeball falls off. I wanted to have a realistic, like, show accurate Seuss pop out of it. I thought that'd be really funny. He's like the only normal thing in here. But yeah, like as far as the process, I bet you a lot of this was straight ahead, only because it was attached to like this cart. I might have had like, this is clearly a keyframe. That's probably a keyframe. So I might have in between that. But then to feel it out, like that's something I do a lot is like, I like to have things be a little reactionary. And to do that, animating straight ahead is usually the key because you can kind of get a flow for it. I didn't do like broad shapes for this just because like I probably felt like it would take too long or something. But I did break it up into pieces, so that probably helped. So I could animate one little piece because like if like it looks so shocking, like how could anyone do that when it's like the whole thing?
Yeah.
Like how could I remember all these things moving or whatever? But I broke it up into pieces, so I think that helps. So I probably just like worked like piece after piece and kind of put it together that way.
Yeah, it's really smart to break it up in pieces like that because like
yeah, and that was like where if you look at this, like that's where the color coding came into play.
Right.
Yeah, so like the red like is its own thing, the purple is its own thing, the green's its own thing, and then the back layer I probably just freehanded because it's like it just needs to be back there to show that it has dimension. Sweet. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like it was super quick, and then I got like nice little tip is don't be afraid to just like use your canvas to like throw everything that you could possibly need. Like I just made some notes.
References around.
Yeah, references, notes, just throw them all. So those are all floating around there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for that one.
Cool. If you want, we can just keep going through whichever other ones we have. Yeah, I do want to like dissect just like how you go about doing some more of like the timing stuff and and like planning out. I don't remember which one you had on there too. But
I have like a
you
perfect
have a lot of
example.
like really good like like monster ones where someone's jumping around.
Yeah, so this right here, I don't know if I've actually tried this technique. I really did want to bring this one up, and I made sure to give credit where it's due. The person that I found this technique from was he's on YouTube, Fabio Geoffrey, I think his name is over here. He does like Toon Boom tutorials and stuff. I think he's like a industry animator. Something I like never really thought to do. So like this, these are both rigs from Newscape, and what I did was a lot of time with the rigs, I do animate straight ahead, which I know is like super sacrilegious. Like this guy is all straight ahead animation. I'll go ahead and play it.
Okay.
I didn't keyframe any of this.
That's
I just
crazy.
Yeah. So
like I don't know. Yeah, my mind like I feel like your brain just like works differently than mine.
Maybe
I don't think I could like do that straight ahead.
The thing is he is all reactionary though. So it
Right.
does make it a little bit. So like kind of what I was explaining before, like I planned, you'll see the sketch back here. I'll go into detail, but like I planned what this guy was doing,
Mm,
and then he's just kind of reacting. And like the rigs at Newscape are so good that like the hierarchy, like his legs can stay planted. That
right.
plays a big part
For
of
sure.
why it becomes so easy. I'll go into that. But I
'Cause,
did
yeah, I
want to
was
show
gonna
that.
ask, like, what about the leg? Because it would be one thing if it was like a floating head, right? But then the
Right.
fact that
Yeah.
it's like the legs catching itself and stuff, like,
Exactly. What I wanted to show, let me see. The technique that I got from that guy from YouTube was here's he is I never like thought, and I think this might be pretty standard in like the industry at like bigger studios, but like when you're using rigs, like you can still like 2D hand draw out like references and poses and stuff. So like this, I should try to do this more often. It's a little bit more time consuming, but I just kind of keyed what I wanted him to do.
mm,
So just imagine that there's no big monster guy.
right,
He's just fighting nothing.
right.
He's just
So
kind
you're
of bitch
just
slapping this guy around a lot.
right.
And like he's not really fighting back. So I got kind of lucky for that shot that he wasn't really fighting back. I probably would have had to key out some stuff. Is that too thin? Can you see it? Oh, yeah, you can see it
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I could see
Yeah.
it.
Yep. So and I'll get into a little bit of how I can utilize rigs and hand animation. So really rough poses there that I knew I wanted to get. And then I kind of plan out the timing. You could probably could have added a little bit more frames to get the timing right. It gets a little shaky over there. I didn't have time to fix it. So let's bring it back in. So then what I did is I took the rig here and let's see, where's it at? And then on top of those drawings that I made, I then animated on top of it. So like I didn't have proportions correct when I was doing the sketch, just because like I was just working so quick. I just knew I wanted to get the basic pose down, and I'd let the rig just keep maintain the proportions. So I get him in the pose there. This is just like a simple tween in, a little bit more ease, and then goes forward, shoots, does his thing there. And then what helps sell it is like this guy's kind of like a gooey character. I then hand animate. Where did I put that? Oh yeah, so this is something I do a lot, which might be intimidating to some people, but I go inside of the rigs and I break it however I need to. I will go inside the rig and I will put like HA goo is what I put here. And like, so this is all hand animated and I attach it to his hand.
Okay.
So this is the peg for the left hand. The left hand is now replaced, I believe, by this. I
Well,
could have easily have just like done this like on another layer outside the rig.
yeah,
I think I wanted this part primarily to go with the rig. That's probably why I did it like that. And then I'm like, well, I already have that attached to the hand. I might as well just animate all this inside the hand as
yeah,
well. But like if you kind of see, let me see here. Yeah, like it's all in the hierarchy. So yeah, there's
right.
other ways this could have been done, but just at the time, I probably just felt this was faster. Um, so then he does this thing there, and you kind of see like I didn't nail the timing. Oh yeah, that's right. I think just a flip looked cooler, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I can kind of hand
have
key
him
that
flip
in.
it.
Yep. And a lot of time I don't really do tweening with shots like this. I like you do have to like when you're working for like a company, you really do have to keep with the style of animation. So
Yeah,
normally I think we would have this fully tweened. We can see what that looks like just to have it be a little bit smoother.
yeah,
Oh, that looks like shit actually. Hold on.
yeah. Bad. That looks bad.
That looks really bad.
Tweening sucks. No, yeah,
Yeah, tweening is terrible. Yeah, so I just hand keyed that and it wasn't that bad like cuz I knew he was going to land in this pose. So even though I really didn't draw anything here, I just kind of like you have to kind of like also know your animation fundamentals a little bit. So like I know that like he needs to have some hang time. So I kept these
right.
frames closer together during his flip. And like you could plan that out if you have more time or whatever. But I just kind of like know as you start to descend, then the frames get further spaced apart.
Right.
So I just kind of keep that logic as I'm animating straight ahead. And then I continue back on to the path that I had pre-drawn with the sketch.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing. So this is another example. This is a more this is a better example of putting it inside the rig. So now I've got on his other arm, because I guess he flipped or something. I have this animation. So I think this might be really cool to show off. What did I do here? Yeah, I guess I put this on a deformer. Excuse me. So like that's a lot of drawings. Maybe I didn't actually use that deformer. It might have just been easier to hand animate. But what you could have done, like say you didn't want to draw this over and over again,
Right.
you could put a deformer on it and then just like move
Yeah.
it around. You know, I think I just omitted that and decided to hand animate it instead.
Got it.
So then he comes around. I'm still following the pose from the sketch, and then it's all still baked into the rig. It does his final pose, and it comes up. This is also, I believe, part of the rig. Yep, it's all part of the rig. And he slams down, and then that might just be a drawing.
Just a
Yeah,
drawing.
so it's a single
Yeah.
frame. So like, so something I do a lot is like I mix like the rig and hand animation as much as I can, primarily for one, it helps you. Well, the main reason is for speed. You got to get this stuff out quickly when you're like, you're getting paid to do it. Two, consistency. Well, you can kind of tell like how like completely off my sketch is. I know I didn't spend a lot of time on the sketch, but like none of those proportions remain the same. Like he becomes huge at certain points and then shrinks at other points. So like using the rig definitely helps with that kind of stuff. And then I find ways to incorporate hand animation inside of those rigs for something like that. Now, as far as this character, I know it's just because I think with the rigs, you have the luxury of being able to work so fast. I feel like why animating straight ahead is usually frowned upon is because you can't really plan very well with it.
Right.
Because animation takes so long to get things looking right or whatever. But if you really have a grasp on like how much something weighs and the fundamentals of animation, like you can usually get away with doing something straight ahead. For instance, he's just kind of standing there right now. I know he's about to get hit. I do actually remember animating this one pretty well. So I just gave him a couple frames of like a little bit of motion just to let the audience know that he's alive.
Yeah.
So he's doing his thing. And then like, boom, big hit. So like those are two drastically different positions. So I knew he gets hit. And something that I do when I animate with these rigs where the legs have, I don't know what it's called when they can stay planted. I just kind of feel it out.
Yeah.
So like I get the hierarchy. I know that he's going to kind of, okay. So I want to do a little demo here just to show what I'm talking about, I think. So this is definitely like my process for using rigs when they need to, when they're like getting hit or they need to show like their sense of weight. So I always animate the body first. So like he's going to get hit and I'm going to like show him like getting up like that. Like I know that that's going to happen super quick. So like those two poses, very quick. And then I want to have that weight. So I want him to get hit and be like, oh, like in the air a little bit and then drop down with some heft. So like I'll animate the body, like go up, and then part of animating straight ahead is you got to do it a little fast because you'll lose your place. You want to like keep those fundamentals. So one of the biggest fundamentals is arcs. So you want to know that this guy's going to have an arc. So go like that, another one like that. I'll usually kind of twist him a little bit. And I know that a lot of this can be done with interpolating keyframes using tweens. I just always feel like it's a lot of like tweens feel so static, like they don't have arcs to it. I know you can add like curved arcs or curved tweens, but it gets a little complicated. So that's kind of why I try to just go into hand key things, and you can get good at it after a while and it just goes pretty fast. So I know that he's going to have some weight to him like that, maybe a couple more, and then he's going to go down, start to descend, and then let's go a little crazy with it and put him like that. So you got to think about like when you land, if you're going to fall backwards, your head would fall forward. But if you're like getting hit and then you kind of go down like that, a lot of like animating, I'm sure too, is you just sitting in your chair like an asshole. It's like doing stuff like this.
Yeah. Having to act things out.
Exactly. So there's a lot of that going on as well. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. So like I know that I want him to like kind of like land a little bit and then kind of like get his like footing back, and always think about arcs also. So he's going to come up. Like I'm not just randomly picking spots. Like I know, look, I already know that I've done an arc there. You could do onion skin as well, and kind of see your arc. It gets a little
bounce straight back to where you just came from and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So you don't want to do that. So you got to think about that kind of stuff at all times. So, and then let's have him just spring forward a little bit. And a lot of it's just like going back and playing it back with your hotkeys. Then he'll come up a little fast and we'll give him a little bit of an ease and then back to this and a little bit of ease again. So we can play that back. Just pretend he got hit.
Right. Yeah.
So the legs look really goofy. So like that wouldn't make any sense. So you always animate like the main body 1st, or at least I do. And then like because this rig is so well done, you can then think about the legs. I always make a floor, especially something like this is a pretty like look, I already had a floor. Yeah, I just supposed to delete it. Yep. So yeah, I know I had a floor. So I know where to keep his feet planted. And like this is like a Street Fighter type fight sequence. So like camera's not moving, their characters aren't moving in Z space at all. It's just side by side, makes things a lot easier. You'd think like for this, his feet would still be kind of planted, but then the next frame, they should probably hike up. So you can go 1 foot at a time and just kind of go, still keeping those arcs. And then let's plant his foot on this frame. See what that looks like. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
See how quick I did that?
Yeah.
And then you don't want to move all the feet at the same time. So let's bring this one slightly delayed. The foot there. Kind of give him a little planting foot there. Yeah. So already you can kind of see, I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but like
it looks so
that
looks good already. Yeah, it looks really good.
It was so quick. So like a lot of it is working really fast so you don't forget about your placement. So like if I didn't have those like arcs implemented already, like with just the simple quick little movements, you could tell that like it wouldn't look very good. So you gotta always be thinking about that stuff as you're moving. And obviously there's all sorts of other animations going on with his tentacles and stuff like that. I probably animated him like getting his footing a little bit, and then I saw what this guy was doing and I knew he was about to attack. So then I bet you anything, I probably over animated this a little bit and then played it back and realized, oh, he's wobbling just a little bit too much. Let me get him back into battle mode. And then I got him into like this pose. And then just go on from there. So like in like a big production where you have a little bit more budget and time to have them actually battling each other, you would be wanting to keyframe and time out.
Right.
But with something like this, where it's just like one person just getting like pummeled, you have that opportunity to like speed up the process by just animating straight ahead and just understanding what they're going to be doing without really having to get the timing quite down.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got the timing exactly how I wanted it to be with the black goo character. So it's all reactionary with the rig. And that's how you animate kids.
Nice. No, yeah. It's funny because I I can't even remember the last time I did any animation that's like straight ahead. I feel like I only do straight ahead animation when it's like a liquid or something, something that's
generally
like
the rule. Like I said, like the way I'm doing stuff, like it's I'm sure like a real animator would be like, bro, what are you doing? Don't do that. Like absolutely not. You gotta plan ahead, you gotta get your timing, you gotta do your keyframes. And like I agree, like I like animating like that sometimes, but like when you just got to get in there and get it done as quickly as possible, like this is your only option. So that's you got to make it work. So like it's not like I could have done that right off the bat, like with all the animation skills that I had, and then touching these rigs for the first time. It's not like I could just do that. It's also just doing it constantly, and you kind of understand like that same emotion that I've had with this guy getting like kind of hit back. I think I've done that like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
So like I just have that kind of locked in. And you just kind of think about, how it's going to be. You kind of think ahead a little bit and just find ways to make it work, But yeah, like doing it like how you're supposed to with like keyframes and stuff, like that's obviously the way that you should teach yourself. But sometimes out of necessity, you got to animate straight ahead.
Yeah,
and I've found a lot of success doing that. It's so much faster. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game nowadays. Everyone's got to animate faster and faster.
Yeah. Yep. Big time.
Do you have like, it seems like you're kind of using like the basic brushes, but do you have like any specific brushes that you like to use for your like at least your personal work?
Not really. So a lot of times when I do like, I don't do like a lot of personal work, especially these days. I wish I did. I really there's just no time.
Yeah.
Gotta find time. I did a couple commissions this past week, and I did all those in Procreate. And I'm doing another one. I'm doing like a character turnaround for somebody, which I'm doing the sketch in Procreate. but I'm probably going to bring it into Toon Boom just because I'm so much more comfortable in that. I'll clean it up with Vector. But honestly, in Procreate, I just use like standard Procreate Sketch, and I think the cleanup brush I like to use, I think it's called Syrup, and I like crank
Yeah, I know which one you're
the
talking.
smoothness like all the way up.
Yeah.
I actually feel like I don't know Procreate so much. I feel like the smoothness needs to be even more smooth because the Toon Boom one's insane.
Oh, really?
Like you've done, have you like cranked the smoothness all the way up on Toon Boom before?
I think so. I haven't used it like since I was at Newscape, but
Okay, yeah. It's
yeah,
really it's
it's
like the
really
best I've
smooth. It's like
ever.
a full
It's
clean circle you could make and stuff.
yeah, like when you crank it to 100, it's so smooth. So maybe I just got spoiled and no other program is like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, so when I do like illustration stuff, I use Syrup and Procreate, and I just crank the smoothness as much as I can get.
nice. Well, at least with Procreate, like you could do like the if you like do a circle and then hold it, it'll like make a
Yeah.
complete like that's
Oh
nice.
my god,
I
I
think that's so
utilize
cool.
that so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shape
Yeah,
tools, I love
because
that
I love that
tool.
you don't have to like do a full circle. You can do like a single curved line, and it smooths that out too.
Yeah,
I utilize that a lot as well.
yeah, I've gotten
It's like a
so
cheat
used to
code,
it. I feel like I can't even use anything else now because I've used Procreate for so long.
right? I really do love Procreate. Yeah, it's a great app. So cheap. You can make people make some incredible artwork with it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like I'm not the greatest at like illustration or like digital painting or anything, but like everything that I know about it, I've done in Procreate from like YouTube tutorials, and you can do so much.
yeah,
Awesome program.
yeah. It's pretty sweet. I'm just like really waiting for Dreams to come out with their second update that they're calling Procreate Dreams 2 because it's like supposed to have so many things in it.
Oh, cool. I was so like I feel like every animator on the world was excited for when Procreate Dreams was coming out. I remember like watching every video I could before they released it.
Yeah,
And I haven't kept up with it since. Honestly,
yeah.
like I played around with it for like a little bit and then I fell off, but that's super cool. I'm glad that they're keeping with it and not just letting it die.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Apparently, it was like a whole thing where they had to shift around a bunch of stuff in house, like in their company, so they weren't working on it for a while, and that's why. And now they're like, okay, now we're
Okay.
back on it. But it was like,
Nice.
I was like, Jesus, man, it's been like a year. It's been what I think like
Yeah.
2 years since it initially released, and like
Yep.
all these things, like the lasso tool that they keep saying like they're gonna come out with, they like still haven't put it. It's like
One day.
yeah, but I
We'll get
mean, it's
those basic
supposedly
features in there.
it's like way more features than people are even asking for are gonna be in the new update,
That's
um,
awesome.
which is cool. But I'm just like, all right, can you just release the other stuff that, like, for now? There's so many things that I'm like, I found workarounds, but it would be a lot easier if I could,
It was just there.
lasso something and move it rather than having to like put every single thing on its own layer.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because you said that you're fully like self-taught, right? So are there like other tutorial like YouTube tutorial people that you recommend?
Definitely. So that I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'd actually even be an animator if it wasn't for Jazza. Draw with
Yeah,
Jazza.
yeah, I know Jeff.
So he doesn't really do tutorial. He's like totally different kind of YouTuber nowadays. But oh my god, he had like an overview of Adobe Animate from years back. It was like over an hour long. I think I watched that thing like 10 times before I even had Adobe Animate, and he made it really feel like I could do this. Like I watched those tutorials and I was like, oh my god, I got this. Like I just felt so confident going in, and more or less, I remember being really frustrated at first, but more or less, like I was good to go after watching that. So he was definitely a big one. Like if he didn't make that tutorial seem so approachable, I probably would have just been like, actually, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just stick with doing retail forever. So that was a good one. Onion Skin has really good tutorials. I know someone mentioned it on your podcast a couple episodes ago. I think Zabird Brain. I think she's one. She does Toon Boom tutorials.
Oh,
Uh,
right.
yeah, so that was like those were like the ones when I was early learning how to do Adobe Animate and then Toon Boom. Other than that, like I follow so many animators on Instagram. I wish I could think of some. I know one of the ones that I really follow a lot is I wish I could remember his name. He does like the Harut dancing animations. I think
Oh,
hike
the one
hike
with like the
animation.
bald guy that like dances. The
Yes,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. He is so good. He does a lot of stuff for like Teen Titans Go, like little dance animations. There's just something about his that are just like they're so clean. Doesn't like a problem that I have when I animate that I'll just get better over time is like sometimes I over animate where you can just it's easy to know what that is. It's just like animating too many frames when you're doing frame by frame animation. Like sometimes you
Yeah.
just like you think like, oh, I got to animate this pose, but then I got to animate this one because it won't be clear. Like he has just such a professional understanding of animating with as few frames that you need to animate with to get the motion across. So he's really good. And then just like literally any other animator, I follow so many animators that like are infinitely leagues better than I will ever be just because they're so much better at drawing. um, but I still watch them because like you got to get the fundamentals down.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'll just be scrolling through Instagram like all day, all night, just looking at things and just kind of like trying to like lock in what they did. I love process videos. I'm sure you've seen like a
Yeah.
lot of those on Instagram where they like show the final thing and then they play like the sketch, the rough movement.
Oh
I
yeah.
I
I
eat that
love that.
stuff up.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
I wish like I had more rough movement stuff to show, but I actually don't do a lot of like super rough sketches, just for like time's sake. But yeah, like when you, I would so much rather look at someone's like roughest. Like I see rough animations on Instagram. Sometimes you'll see me in their comments like, "Is there a rougher sketch?" that you could possibly show. I want to see the scribbly blob go across the screen because I'll understand what they were doing, and I'll be like, oh, okay, well that's how I should do it. I
Yeah.
want to be able to like just get the absolute base, but then you find out that they're just really talented and they draw
Well, that's
the
how I'm
sketch
feeling
that
about
well from the start.
your stuff here. Like the fact that like you did that blobby one with like just one like that to me, I'm like I would have like I have to do like basic shapes and then go in and be
Right.
like, okay, now like smaller shapes. Okay, now smaller shapes, and then like.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, and but there's definitely some people I've been seeing. I can't remember the name of the animator. I follow him on Instagram, but he did for the new season of Love, Death, Robots.
Oh,
Um,
heck yeah.
I don't know if you saw the hand animated one. That's the 2D one that like the aviators, and there's this monster that comes inside and kills all the people in the airplane.
No, I
Did you
haven't
see the
seen
new
that.
season? Oh god, it's so good.
Uh-uh.
It's one of the best. What probably one
Everyone's
of the
talking
most.
about that. I've not seen it yet. I've
Yeah,
never watched the show. I have a
you've
couple
never
friends that
watched the
talk about.
show.
No, I know.
What the
That's also
fuck?
another thing that like I
How
know
are you
you
an
you think for
animator?
sure.
You've never seen Love, Death, Robots? That's
I don't know
crazy.
what's happened in my like adult age. I am so like boring now. I don't watch like anything. Like I really need to like I'm just glad that South Park is back. Like that's
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
one thing I was super excited for as far as animation goes. But I used to eat that shit up, and now like I need to start giving the time. I just give all my time to video games.
I
I
feel
know
you.
I should be
You
watching
can shoot.
animated
I
stuff,
mean,
but
the great thing about Love, Death, Robots is like some of them are like 10 minutes long, 8 minutes. I think
oh
like the
nice.
shortest one is probably like 3 minutes long. Like some of them are super short, but
That's what I need.
I think that shows like the best thing to happen to the animation industry in like decades. Cause like they
Wow.
just they just give to their I think it's like one studio, but then they branch
It's
out
like
to
different
like different
styles and stuff, is it?
studios or like
Oh, cool.
I know it's like one guy who like it's his main studio, and then I guess yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it almost seems like they're basically just Love Death Robots is the prompt, right? And they're just
Okay.
giving the studio like here's the prompt or the director a prompt,
Oh my
and they
god, I
just
love
make
that. That's so
whatever they
cool.
want out of it. So it's just like yeah,
It just
it's
sounds like
literally
everyone's
like
having fun.
yeah, it looks like it's just like what happens when you give animators just a good budget and just be like do whatever you want
Right. Oh, that's all.
because
That's
it's
the
just like
dream.
every episode's just so good. But that one, yeah, the animator was hosting a lot of his like roughs, like every, and there was like a couple that I like swiped like 3 times, and I was like, oh, there's another rough, and then I was like another rough. He
Yeah.
had like it makes you feel really good because you're like this animation looks amazing, but then you see
Yep.
they planned it out and then they went over it again And
That's
they
why I
went
eat that shit
over
up.
it
It's
again.
like
Yeah.
it's a lot of it is just like you learning, but then you also are just trying to like silently justify yourself. Like, oh, that's how they do it too.
Yeah.
Okay, they draw like a bunch of blobby shit, and then it turns into something awesome a
Yeah.
couple passes later. You should send me that guy because I definitely going to start
Yeah,
following him.
I'll try to find him. But yeah, I mean I think that's just like the main thing you realize once you start getting really deep into animation. It's all about the timing. As long as you get that
Hmm.
timing right, then it's like then that's when you can just have fun with it and go crazy
Yep.
and make something look super detailed. And at the end it's like, it looks really impressive, but it's like,
Yeah.
well, I already just figured out, the foundation for the animation is already built, so then you just can add to it as much as you want.
Exactly. It's like I mentioned this like so many times already, but it's like fundamentals because like I'm like my own worst critic, but like me personally, I don't think that I am like the best like artist or drawer. Like I've been trying to get like a little bit better, but I'm definitely stuck in my old ways because I picked this up so late into life. So like the way I draw still is just like crappy like little high school sketches that like I had like not drawn for like years, and then like I kind of picked drawing back up. So like I'm not the best draftsman, but a lot of times you can't even tell because I locked in on those animation fundamentals.
Yeah.
um I got the old I'll show this off. I got the very elusive rare hardcover copy
You got the
of the
hard cover.
animator. Yeah, this thing was expensive, but my god, it's so awesome. So I definitely picked that up if
Oh yeah,
you're
definitely
an
get that.
animator
I have
watching this.
I don't know where mine. I think it's by my
Believe
TV
it
or
or not, I
something.
actually only just read that for the first time
Oh,
like a
I've
couple
still
months
never
ago.
read it. I've never read that book.
Oh
I've
yeah, I mean
used
you could
it
you could
for
flip through it, yeah.
yeah. I used it for like I flipped the pages I needed for my college classes,
Oh okay.
and I'll use it every now and then for like to remind myself how to do a walk cycle, like how to do some of the fundamentals.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
yeah, I have still not. I've been thinking about that recently. I'm like, I should actually just sit down and read that whole book without trying to like use
I
it for
found
reference.
I didn't want to like put any damage on that one because I know it's so like rare and valuable, but I'm saying that as if like people are like breaking down my doors to get the stupid book. For animators, it is. It's definitely a cool collector's piece. But there's like a digital PDF version
Yeah,
that you can find online for for free.
yeah. I think I got
Yeah.
mine at like a used bookstore
Oh, that's
when I
awesome.
was in college. I just got lucky. I went to this like small used bookstore in Austin, and
I just happen to have it.
yeah,
That's
I was
so
like,
cool.
oh look, they actually have it. I was really surprised
They're
they
like, all
had
right,
it.
buying that.
Yeah, it's like probably like
Yeah, but if you get
ten
your
bucks.
fundamentals down, like, and you nail, like whether it be squash and stretch or arcs, if you can just kind of nail those, then they can kind of cover up and mask some of the things that you aren't as strong with. So, like for instance, the one that we were looking at, oh, I closed it. The one with the space guy hanging on to the thing.
Yeah,
Like, if you really look at that drawing, like it's not like the greatest. With I tried to add like some perspective angles on it to kind of like help sell that he was like his feet were further away in Z space, but like it's not like the most amazing like drawing. But the fact that he's moving kind of correctly, you just don't think about that. Your brain accepts that that's the character that was just looking at the screen shaking his head.
right.
So yeah, like the biggest takeaway for animation is just getting your fundamentals right.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of hard to tell in yours because you do a lot of fast paced animation with your
Mhm.
hand drawn stuff, which I
Yeah,
know is easier to get away with. Like if the arm's like a little thicker or something in the next frame, it's like easier to get away
big
with
time.
that.
Yeah.
It does seem like to me though, even going frame by frame, that you're pretty good at like sticking to that. Is there a thing that any like technique that you use to make sure you're not getting too many like jitters or like what's it called, like the
I know there's a
boils,
word
like
for it.
line boil, like,
Yeah,
or what's it called, fry, like, yeah, I think it's called boiling or line boiling or whatever.
line boils when the lines wobble.
Yeah,
I think what you're talking about is when
or like
like say for instance,
consistency, like the
yeah, it's funny. It's in that book.
we should
I'm like
probably read
talking
the
so
book.
hard about. I'm talking so like learn your fundamentals. I'm like,
What do
duh.
you call it when one frame doesn't match the next
Do
frame?
as I say, not as I do. But it's
But
like
yeah,
consistency where like you don't want something to grow in size or
right.
shrink in size as you move along. I have a decent example of that I packed into
Because that's a
the
very
drive.
common problem that animators run into.
Big time, yeah. Let me open up this one. So for this one, this was like one of my first stabs at like actually animating like a real animator without like using the rigs and just really actually trying to sell like emotion.
Mhm.
It was because the budget was a little bit nicer for this one, so I had a little bit more time to make things look professional. This is for the Cluckies video game. So one thing is always make yourself, if you're not provided one like this one was provided for this character, always have yourself a reference sheet so you can keep those things consistent. Thankfully for this shot, it's just a head, but for this one, this was like all hand animated, and I was really, really proud with how this one turned out. Sketch layer. So for this one, to keep it consistent, I remember, I don't think I have it anymore, but I remember I drew like a ball, and then I had the ball kind of come up and do that whole thing, and then I drew like the so I had like a single ball, and then I would draw like the angle of the head. That was my super rough. And then I would take that, and then as it was moving around, I got all the timing right and brought it down. And I probably, like, it was obviously not as rough as this, but I would copy that, paste it so it stays the same size, and then draw it like looking down for the pose where he was looking down. And then I in between this one. So this one I definitely planned ahead a lot more.
Yeah.
And I always loved how this one came out, but I knew that that was going to be a problem with this if I didn't try to maintain the size. Then it would have just completely, because it's so close up, you could probably see like any detail where that happened. So I made sure to have a super rough of this one to maintain those shape sizes. So the best thing that you can do for something like that is if you have like a super, super rough, like you were saying, like if you have just like a basic shape, something you can do is when you're doing the very, very rough is you can just copy that and like bring it over to like another frame and then bring it up and then sketch on top of that so you can maintain that size.
Right.
Same thing for this thing. This one moves a little bit more in 3D space and has a little bit of squash and stretch to it, but the same thing. Like I could have had like a ball that like was perfectly like that, and then I could have like squashed it a little bit to like keep that shape, and then copied and pasted and brought over. So as far as like maintaining proportions, that's the word. Proportions, baby.
Maintaining
Proportions. All right, so 10 minutes later, consistent we have. So maintaining proportions is make yourself a style guide if you don't have one, and then if you're working super, super rough, like don't be afraid to just like copy and paste a drawing, bring it over to like the next keyframe that you're doing, and then just manipulate that copy and paste rough, because no one's ever going to see that. You're just kind of making yourself like a guide,
Right.
you know. So that definitely helps with doing proportions. That's not something like I invented. Like they've been doing that forever. They used to do in, I think Toon Boom actually has a shift and trace. So Toon Boom has a feature, I don't really know how to use it well, where you can take your drawing and reference it to see that like it's kind of like an onion skin, but you can kind of move it around a little bit. I don't know how to use it, but they would like in the old days, to get proportions to stay the same, they would like draw their keyframe, and then they would take the physical piece of paper off on the light board and then like kind of rotate it and put it down, and then use that to maintain the proportions. So you can do the same thing in any program,
Right.
where you just grab it and onion skin it or layer it on top, and then you can keep it that way.
Yeah. Good for people to know. Have you ever used light boxes before to animate?
No. I'm too scared.
I had to do it in a class that I took in college.
It was like a bouncing ball, or
what? It was
like a
we animated like a few it starts off with bouncing ball, but then I had to animate like a guy like throwing a punch, or like a guy like throwing something, and like character, like by the end we had to make like a minute long animation with like just hand drawn.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And surprisingly though, I thought I was for sure like, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna hate this. I was like, if this is still how animation was made today, I would not do this. But then surprisingly, it's like very therapeutic, almost like it just feels very like, because you have to be paying attention. And also I feel like I've been wanting to like buy a light box like to just practice with, because I feel like it makes you a way better animator, because like
it probably does.
You're forced to like make sure to keep everything consistent and making sure like it feels like it's impossible, right? Because we're so used to digital and like getting all these, but then once you're actually in it and doing it, it's like then you surprise yourself. You're like, wow, this actually looks good just if you try a little harder.
That's so. Did you legit do like keyframes and then in between?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. Was it? I think most of it was probably follow through, but I think it was like I started
Okay.
off doing really rough, like just like a rough circle or something, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
with like guidelines for like a character's face or something, and then do that. Because there was definitely times you would do it, and then you watch, like you look, you know, you'd have to flip the papers or like look it back, you know, like that sucks. So then you have to just crumble up the piece of paper and throw it away.
Just start over. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I was like really shocked at how much I actually enjoyed it, and I was like, oh, I could see why people made animations back in the day before
Yeah.
computers, like, because when you watch people do it, it's just like, what the hell, man? Like, are you crazy? This is what you're gonna do
I
with your
mean,
time? Like, spend
you look
hours
at
upon hours.
James Baxter doing the 3D scene from
Mm,
Beauty and the Beast, and you're like, well, actually, I'm just gonna give up forever.
that's still like super bizarre to me that you could figure that out back
I got me. People have
before.
asked him how he did that. I've seen so many James Baxter interviews, and like he's just like, oh yeah, I just kind of use the camera and like plan it out. I'm just like, no, you're insane. How did you do that? He like doesn't. He can't really go into detail because it's just he's just that skilled. He just like does it, you know.
Because it's also animating the. I would have to rewatch the scene, but like also the background's rotating too, right? So like,
So I do know that they
or is it just
on that
one
particular scene,
big
he
background?
had the I think it was like a big background that they meshed into like a 3D space. Maybe I could be totally wrong on that, but I know that James Baxter was given the green lit like camera movement. So like they got the camera movement that they wanted, and then he animated on top of the rotating camera.
Rotating,
So he worked with the camera instead of the other way around,
right?
where like the camera works with the drawing because that would be way harder.
Yeah,
But still, I don't know how anyone could do
it's
that.
just still the hardest thing. Like
Yeah.
camera rotating around two characters holding each other, dancing and twirling with like a dress. It's just like,
In 3D space, it's just insane.
yeah,
That's something that I really want to be able to tackle someday. I know we won't really probably do this with at Newscape just because the amount of time you'd have to give to something like this. But I'd love to attempt like those cool fight scenes where the camera's rotating and they're
mm,
like shooting across a landscape or whatever. I eat those things up on Instagram. I love watching people do those. It sounds
same.
like it'd be fun to do. It'd be stressful to do probably, but like I can't imagine like a better feeling of being able to crack one of those out and
Yeah.
have it look really good.
Yeah, that's one that I'm also super interested in learning how to do, like fight scenes and stuff, like very complex
Yeah.
fight scenes. And I haven't really found any tutorials. If anybody that's watching knows a good tutorial for that, because I'm
Yeah.
always like, how do these people learn it? Because it's like, I guess they have to be working at a studio that someone else is doing that and they learn from them. Because I can't find any tutorials, and times that I've tried to like apply for jobs for like fight, you know, for they're specifically asking for someone to fight, it's like they're only looking for people that already have a bunch of that in their portfolio. So I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
where are people learning how to like rotate around two characters flying around and they are beating each other up? Like, where do you learn that?
You just gotta do it, I think, and
Yeah,
try and just
I guess just
fail a bunch of
film
times.
a lot of your own references. I guess, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that probably helps.
yeah, because yeah, I'm always in awe when I see like, I mean, even like stuff from like the old Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
animations
Big
and
time.
stuff that they're like flying through the air and like throwing punches and stuff. It's insane.
So cool.
Cool. Do you have any like personal projects you're working on right now, or no? You're saying that?
No, that's something that like I've been really, really wanting to
Yeah.
do eventually. It's just like I haven't found the time to. I would love to be able to pick my YouTube channel back up and just do something with that again. Like all those subscribers that I had. I mean, I didn't have a lot on YouTube, but I had a lot on TikTok, and I haven't posted on there in like 4 years. Like 90 subscribers out the 90,000 subscribers like out the window
Yeah.
on that
That's
platform.
a lot.
I guess so. I know the audience is there. I just don't have the time to do it. But I still write down ideas every once in a while. Like if something funny pops into my head, I'll throw it down to my phone and like make my notes app, and just maybe one day I'll get to it. But it just takes time.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing super. I did because I was out of work for like about a month this past month, so I had a couple friends like it was weird. I had a couple of people I know like hit me up for commissions, which never happens, and I never post about doing commissions.
Yeah.
But I was like out of work and I didn't post anything, but then a bunch of people DM'd me asking if I could do stuff. It was like super weird how well that worked out.
Nice.
And so I did kind of get to stretch my legs a little bit for other people's stuff, but no real like big animation things.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, I'm sure you could come up with some pretty sick stuff.
Especially now that I know how to animate so much better and faster.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it would be because it was definitely a process back on the STEAKSTIX animations day on my YouTube channel. That those would take so long to do. It took me like literally every video was like over a month of work for like 3 to 5 minutes
Wow.
of
Yeah.
content. Yeah,
But also you go
because I was
pretty
still
hard,
learning.
you know? Like, I feel like you
I
could
did try
probably
to.
because you did so
Yeah,
much
I
hand
tried to back
animation
then.
stuff. Maybe, like,
Right.
tone down the hand animation and focus more on, like, the comedy stuff because I
Exactly.
feel like your comedy is really
Yeah.
good too.
Thank you. Yeah, I you live and you learn. Like I definitely kind of got those vibes from like feedback. It's funny because like uh the I did like that Fall Guys video,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of what got me the job at
I think that
Newscape. I
is
think they
what
saw that.
yeah, because we had also done a
Yeah,
Fall Guys video, and we are like, "This looks
right.
so similar to ours, like, we gotta get this guy."
Funny enough, like small take, you can cut this out if you need to, but like I that was the most successful video on my YouTube channel that got so many views like right off the bat. I found out way later because I was never really super into analytics because I didn't understand them on YouTube, but I found out way later the reason that that video popped off was because it was recommended in a Game Tunes video.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, so it was recommended in the Game Tunes video, and then I ended up working for Game Tunes. I was like, "Whoa, that's
Oh,
crazy!"
wow, that's so funny.
Uh, yeah, but what I was gonna say was, like the feedback I got from some people was that like the that Fall Guys video it had a story in it, like more or less. It was not like a great written story, but like it was about like a character who like I was basically like treating Fall Guys like a World War II
Right.
flashback kind of thing. He was telling his story or whatever, and that got the most views. And then I did some other videos before and after that where like it was just dumb, random, like just no real coercion at all. It was just completely random nonsense, which is really fun to animate. And I love doing that. But like I could tell that people didn't appreciate
Yeah.
that as much. And I had people tell me, like, hey, you're really good at animating stuff, but like these videos, like I wish you would have like a story with them more and like actually have like these characters. And I took that feedback and I was like, no. Like, and I just like doubled down on the stupidity of it. And like my favorite video that I ever did was the Family Guy parody, which is
Yeah.
just like the most drug trip, like complete nonsense, and it flopped super hard because no one wanted to see that shit, you know. Like if I had thought just a little bit harder on actually having some sort of story, it might have taken off a little bit. But I think it was just like my like my deep and pre-installed just like not liking being told what to do.
Yeah.
I should have listened more. But yeah, no, you live and you learn. So if I were to ever pick it back up, I would take all of that criticism and actually not be an idiot
Yeah,
and
just make a
listen.
funny little story out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tone down the hand animation a little bit. I would still want it to be in there because then what am I doing? You know, that's my passion. So I'd want to actually have that kind of stuff like in there, but I would definitely probably rig characters up or not have them move as much. You know,
Yeah.
you live and you learn. But yeah, every time you animate something, you learn. So
Yeah, for sure. It's so hard. It's funny how, sometimes us as animators, we like self-sabotage our own
big time.
stuff for
Yeah.
like it's like I've been running into my issue right now is I keep like coming up with like new ideas for like characters and stuff. So instead of
Mhm.
just picking like two characters and making like 100 sketches with just those two characters, which would be super easy because I build them once and then I can just like
Right.
do stuff
Yeah.
with them. I'm like, let's try something new. And it's like
Yeah.
I have to redesign, redraw, and it's just like this whole long process. And I keep doing that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm
No,
like,
people love
why am I
to
doing
see
that?
like character growth.
Oh, for sure.
Like yeah, even if like if it's not like the biggest, and like people aren't usually thinking about this stuff when they watch stuff. A really good example, maybe not like example for character growth, but just to shout someone out that I think everyone should watch because it's YouTube animation. Have you seen Bridge Kids?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that Mike Carf, I think is his name. It's funny, before he did Bridge Kids, I'm just like flexing my like animator repertoire. Before he did Bridge Kids, he actually messaged me on Newgrounds and
Oh,
was like,
really?
"Oh, hey, your stuff is awesome." And I was like, "Oh, I love I think he had put out one episode of Bridge Kids and it only had like 30 views or something like that.
Oh, whoa.
And yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I should hit him up again because now he's like super popular.
Yeah, you
Like,
should
let
be
me
like,
bite off of that
"Hey,
cookie.
you remember me?"
You need an animator? Remember that guy you gave a compliment to
Yeah.
like 4 years ago on
I'm
Newsground
still
in your
here.
DMs?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I think about you all the time, bro. Anyway, so like that, like it's just like you were saying, like he's got like a small handful of I haven't watched the past few episodes that he's done, but he has like a small group of characters and he just stuck with them and they all like have their own like life now in that like little YouTube show.
Yeah.
Like you could totally do
Yeah,
that.
I'm looking at it right now,
You
and
just gotta stick
honestly,
with
it's
it.
like you guys do have similar styles, and like the way his character that has like the giant braces, it looks like something.
Yes,
character
I
that would
love
be-
that design so
It
much.
looks like a character that's straight out of one of your animations. Like,
Why I really appreciate Bridge Kids and like his stuff is the animation is very simple. It's all rigged, you can tell. Like I mean, he like animated like walk cycles, but he definitely reuses those just like every studio
Yeah.
does. He focuses more on like what people actually want to see, which is the writing of it and the dialogue and everything. Like that's what people really care about. Like you would want to throw like cool hand animations and stuff like that, you know, just for like some wow factor. But at the end of the day, you gotta, what are you doing if you're not writing something that people want to watch, you know? So that was something that I probably could have tweaked a little bit with my stuff. But yeah, if I ever get back to it, I would love to actually take a swing at doing something like that.
yeah,
Where it seems like it's pretty manageable because the animation is it's very great animation. Like he's that guy's clearly a professional. I think he worked at like Adult Swim or something probably. And just take all that and apply it to something with a little bit more substance.
yeah,
you know.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, his I think it was his latest episode. Yeah, he has one that called Goodfellas. Came out a few months ago.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
It's so good. It's so funny. You gotta watch it.
Oh my
I
god,
haven't
that's
watched
great.
all of them, but like, yeah, when I saw that one, I was like, oh, he's still making these.
Yep,
It's so good.
it took off.
Yeah,
It's like the closest thing that I've seen that made me feel like I was watching early Adult Swim content.
Mm-hmm.
And I would eat that up all day.
Yeah, it has
so
very
great.
like 90s vibes to it too.
Big time. Yeah, 90s 2000s vibes.
Which is sick.
Yeah, so definitely check that one out if no one's seen that yet.
Yeah. Do you have any other animators that you admire that you want to shout out that if people are fans of your stuff would like to check out?
I mean, I don't go a single day even without posting on YouTube for like half a decade that I don't get compared to Meat Canyon. Like if you go through my comment sections, like it's always like, oh, you're Meat Canyon's brother or son or whatever. And I always lie. I like literally like 2 days ago, I was just like, oh, he's my dad. I'll say that I'm related to him. He has no idea who I am. So yeah, like I haven't watched Meat Canyon in like a long time, but I know that like around the time when I was posting, he was like first becoming like super huge. So I bet you like some of that trickled down to my channel a little bit. I like Animunch, which I know you just put that episode out today. I gotta watch that. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great example because he does a lot of I think he still draws it you know, each time he has to animate, or maybe he didn't. I watched the episode. I know he does like a lot of just very simplistic, like almost rotoscope, like hand gesture.
Yeah, he talks about that in the episode.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. That's gonna be awesome.
How many times he gets roasted in the comment section of people being like, Animunch using those arm rotations again, using the same arm.
Hey, you gotta have a thing, all right?
You gotta have
at least they're commenting about something. That is hilarious. I'm gonna talk to him about that. Yeah, he's cool. Shout out to a homie that I used to chat with back when I was doing YouTube, Humor Waffle. He was pretty cool.
Humor Waffle, okay.
I don't know if he uploads still, but me and him were kind of like on the exact same wavelength, I think, with like the amount of audience we were bringing in and like the style. He also like animated like horror parodies.
Oh, cool.
So his stuff was pretty cool. Yeah. But I've just kind of like, I think I've fallen off a little bit of just like the YouTube animation train. I should really like dig in there. I know a lot of people post like their reels and stuff on there, but I haven't seen like a lot of good, like, I don't even want to use the word shows, but like just like
Yeah, just like
animation
skits.
channels, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, just anything like that. I know there's a lot of them. I see some on like TikTok and stuff, but those are so quick that they, they're very forgettable.
Yeah.
They're great, but like, you can't like, there's like old YouTube animations that I still go back and rewatch for like the 100th time.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really do that with TikTok too much. But yeah, that's about it for that. I really should kind of dig in there a little bit. I'm sure there's a scene in on YouTube with animation. I hope there is. I don't want it to die.
Kinda. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We're in this weird uh part of the industry right now where like
Yeah.
things in like the big studios are falling apart, but then
Hmm.
also which is helping like smaller animators, but also it's like making it so where I feel like we're in this weird in between phase right now where it's like indie
Big time.
animators
Yeah.
are getting a little bit more praise because of AI and because of layoffs and they're
Yep.
needing to make stuff, but at the same time it's like they're not making any money. I don't know, we're like in this
Yeah. Like,
weird
how can you maintain it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like we just have to wait and see
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. But that shouldn't stop you too much. You gotta still try to get it even if you're not getting fully paid for it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. I've been making like no money this year.
Right,
Making
yeah.
stuff, but
But
it's
you're still working.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's funny, like I'm so like in the opposite boat. Like because like I was out of work for like a month like recently, and like I could have used that whole month to like do anything, but I'm just like I don't know what's happened with me in like my older age. Like I'm just like I am not strong. I literally like I wanted to do this interview like today instead of like last week when you messaged me
Yeah.
about it, because like I hadn't like shaved or cut my hair in like a whole month because like I was just like so depressed and I couldn't like bring myself to like do anything. I like completely like shut down as a human until I started working again, when I should have just like taken that as like an opportunity
Right.
and been like what if I had done that? Like I could have had like probably a YouTube video out or whatever. So
Yeah.
just stay strong out there, people. It gets better.
No, yeah.
Don't be like me.
It does do so. I definitely was like, yeah, falling into like a depression from like not finding work earlier this year. Of
Yeah.
just like, and now it's like work's been starting to pick up now. And now that I'm doing this
Awesome, man.
podcast and I'm like have like more of a schedule and doing stuff, I find myself actually doing more personal projects than I
Oh,
was
that's awesome.
before because I was just, sometimes
Yeah.
you fall into a weird like lull where it's like I'm not getting any work. I'm waking up every
Yep.
day and there's like I don't know what to do. So it's like you would imagine that you're like, oh, do a project, but you're like, nah,
For sure. Yeah.
I'm just gonna play Tony Hawk or like I'm just gonna like
Yeah.
play some video games and
Eat so much Taco Bell.
yeah, it's like well, I don't
My
understand.
past month is just a blur of Taco Bell and sadness. The Taco Bell was not the sad part. That was the only
That was the
that
part
was the
that
only
was
thing keeping me
yeah.
going. Yeah, it's like I live another day so I can get Taco Bell. One more beefy 5 layer will bring me out of bed.
You're like I could end it all, but then that would mean I wouldn't be able to eat a crunch wrap tomorrow.
Someone else is gonna have to eat all that nacho cheese, and I can't have that. It's mine.
I usually like to ask people about creative block whenever you're hitting a creative block, or maybe you could
Okay.
also go into if you're working like get assigned something like a hand animation and you're like struggling to like really think of how the character is gonna move. Like, is there anything you do to work through that? To if you're just like hitting a
Definitely.
block
Yeah.
and you're like I have no idea how I'm gonna do this one.
Yeah. So personal creative block. Don't ask me because I'll just tell you to eat Taco Bell for a month straight. And just give up, sell all your shit. But as for a professional setting with creative block, don't be afraid to use reference. And like I don't mean that by like doing like a reference like a 1-for-1 recreation. Like if you have a team lead, definitely reach out to them. That's part of their job. So you gotta like when you were team leading, hit you up to see if there's something like where you this particular shot where they're fighting, did you have something in mind that I should think
Yeah.
about? And then they'll usually pull up like a YouTube clip or something. And if they don't have anything, then just try to like someone has done it before in a sense. There's always, when you're trying to do something, there's always something out there that's kind of similar that you can find and think of. So just get a quick reference. You don't have to look at it like one to one or anything like that, but like just use that as like a starting point, even if it's as simple as someone like punching someone, but you want to do it at a sweet angle and you don't know very much about composition or framing. Someone's done that already.
Yeah.
Watch an anime clip or something like that, and you can kind of see like, oh, okay, they start like this close to the camera and then they end like this, and that certain way I could take that and just kind of flip it a little bit, do my own thing, and fill out the gaps, and it usually comes out pretty good. But don't be afraid to look up reference and don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, especially, and if you're not in a professional setting, then even if you're asking someone that isn't an animator or something, you could show them that, and maybe they'd have some input. Preferably find someone that does animation though, and then just kind of ask them. It's free. It's free to ask.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, definitely. Don't be afraid to get reference. That's a big one. Yeah, there's always something out there that'll inspire you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't feel like you're inspired at the time.
Yeah, I need to get better at shooting reference. I feel like
I've never done it.
Okay,
I've always wanted. I've literally
always,
never
like,
done it.
Scavenged through like Google and stuff and trying to find
Yeah.
what I'm looking for, and then yeah, I see like these people that are working on like Into the Spideyverse, and they're like, these are the references I shot. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can shoot references myself. Like I just
K-pop Demon Hunters. I follow some of the animators from that, and then when they do the crazy anime faces and they're screaming, it's just them in their apartment just like screaming at the camera, making ridiculous faces. Like, yeah, if you can't find reference, then just shoot it yourself. Like I've never done it, so I can't say like how to do it or anything like that, but it's clearly a thing. Like that's been in animation forever.
Yeah,
is working from reference. I'd love to try that someday. I bet this could come out with some really funny behind the scenes clips.
Yeah, right. It gives you more stuff to post. It's like some of these questions I like feel like they're more like industry questions of working with teams. So I don't want to ask them because I'm like, I used to work with you, so I don't want to ask like, what struggles have you had when you're working with a team? Because then you're gonna just talk shit about me. All right.
I worked with this guy named Mitch. Oh my god, the day he left was the best thing that company ever got. Oh, I swear, production just went up so high after he dipped.
Suddenly, we could just knock out all these videos.
Yeah,
this guy left,
and we just talk shit about him nonstop every day. It just really keeps the day going.
I'm glad I can be helpful in some way, even though I'm gone. What would you describe as the hardest part of animating to somebody that's not in the animation industry?
All right, so I remember when I first started trying to take animation seriously, I think I started maybe like 2 other things before I actually ended up finishing something, because I fell out of love with it during the process because it takes so long. And I know, I think you asked a similar question to a couple of your other guests I saw on previous episodes, and they kind of said the same thing. Like, there's no way around it. Animation just takes so long. And if you aren't prepared for that, then you're going to just completely fall out of love with it and just ditch whatever you're working on. Like before I did that, like really terrible Detective Pikachu thing I was talking about earlier, I was doing like a Zelda thing because I think Breath of the Wild had just come out. I had sketched out like a whole thing about it or whatever. I was working on it for like probably only like a week, but at the time it probably felt like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I just fell completely out of love with it. So just understand that this takes a really long time. Allow yourself to have that amount of time to do it because it's probably going to take longer than you think it's going to take. And you just have to stick with it and push through. I know that doesn't sound very fun, just like push through something, but once that gets easier too. Now that I know that I could probably work on the same thing for like months if I really needed to. And because I understand mentally that is exactly what the process is like, and not that I'm screwing something up because I'm so bad at this. It's just, even if you're good at it, it takes a long time. So just the amount of time the animation takes, I think, is once you wrap your head around that, it opens a lot more doors.
Cool. Yeah, I like that answer. It definitely makes such a big difference when you don't.
Yeah.
When you are actually like really, really into what you're animating.
For sure. Yeah. That totally helps. And then it doesn't feel like it's taking a long time because you're loving it. Yeah. But if it's something you're not 100% into, then you just got to understand that it's going to take time and you'll get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the best feeling when you're working on something and then you lift your head up and like 7 hours had passed and you're like, what? You're like, what?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I love that feeling.
yeah, I love that feeling too, and it doesn't happen often. Like you have to really be into whatever you're doing, um,
Yeah.
and like yeah, like nowadays I'm doing a lot of like just funny animated skits, and that's when I know
Mhm.
something's like really good when I'm just like I need like I'm just gonna pull an all nighter almost just to get this done because I
Yes.
want to see it animated so
Yep.
badly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was doing the YouTube stuff, I'd be like morning to night shifts and it would just fly by and it never felt like I was like working. I wasn't really making a lot of money doing it, but it like still like I'd feel so accomplished and I'd love to like just play back like the 3 seconds that I got done over the entire day. Or it just felt so good. I'm like, oh, this thing's coming together. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Steven. Is there anything else you
Absolutely.
wanna add?
Um I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to show like the demos and stuff.
Oh yeah, this was great. Very thorough going through your hand
So
animation.
good luck cutting that down to a watchable amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, this will definitely be. I was like expecting. I was like, this episode's probably gonna be longer than the other ones, just because
Yeah.
we just have. Yeah, like I was saying at the beginning, like we just have never actually like chatted, but we just like
Right.
talked through DM and just worked together for so long. I've always had like so many of these questions that I've wanted to ask you like while working at Newscape, but I just like don't have time. Like, I'm not gonna
Exactly.
be like,
Yeah.
hey Steven, stop what you're doing right now and like teach me your ways.
Break this down.
Yeah. Um
Yeah. No. Yeah, it was awesome being on here, man.
yeah.
And anytime you want me back, I'll definitely
Yeah.
try to have some more stuff prepared because this was super fun. I like
Hell yeah.
showing the process off a little bit.
Yeah, and where can people find you?
So I don't post a lot on social media. I'm trying to get better at it. That's just always something I've hated doing. I've got that like who cares syndrome
Yeah.
about posting my artwork, but I'm trying to get a little bit better. But STEAKSTIX animation on Instagram. I have like a Twitter and Blue Sky, but I don't ever use
Yeah.
it for literally anything. So Instagram would be the main one. STEAKSTIX animations on Instagram.
Sweet. All right. Right on.
Cool.
And that is a wrap on this episode. Thank you so much again, Steven, for coming on. It was really, really great chatting with you, man. I hope everyone that's listening really enjoyed this episode. Thank you to Nick Kostenlop, my buddy who composed the music that I use for the intros and outros to these episodes. If you guys want to check out his music, you can look him up on Spotify under Nick Kostenlop. He's got his full piano album on there. It's really great. To all my listeners, thank you guys for listening. If you guys were so inclined to subscribe, like, comment, share this episode, it really helps out a lot. I also have a Patreon that I just have not been talking about on my episodes, but I have a Patreon. Look up MF Scribbles. I'll also leave a link down below in the description. And yeah, I don't have a ton on there right now. I have some behind the scenes stuff for my work, for some of my animations, and I also have a secret hidden episode. If you've noticed that there's no first episode on my YouTube channels, because the first episode is me talking about my process, and that can only be found on my Patreon as of right now. I would like to get to a point where I can upload episodes a few days to even maybe a week early for all my Patreon supporters. But for right now, I have a few tiers up there. I have some stuff. If you guys want to check it out, would really be forever grateful to any of my Patreon subscribers. And yeah, as for now, what I can promise is that I will give you a shout out at the end of my episodes and put your names in the descriptions and at the ends of the videos. That I can definitely do for now. And hopefully once I start getting some more people on there, definitely would love to do something. Maybe make some stickers or t-shirts or something. That I think that'd be really cool. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments for sure. Thank you guys again so much for listening to this episode of And I Made It, and I will see you guys next week with another animator. See ya.